So I kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown on my first few days being back in Mexico for the second time of my life. And I gotta say, there's just so many fucking things we take for granted in the USA, like water pressure, hot water, things like that. It's not always a guarantee in Mexico. It really isn't. Like every building has its own individual water tower compared to the USA, where there's usually just one big one for the city or something like that. And water pressure is almost always a guarantee in the United States compared to Mexico. Hot water isn't generated with a boiler here, at least not in this part of Mexico. It's generated with this solar energy thing that they built that's on the roof, and most roofs are accessible. That's another thing. Like my apartment's back in Texas, you can't even fucking access the roof. But yeah, that was a change. Like, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm just pointing it out. Let me see. Everyone greets each other. Buenas tardes, buenas noches, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, hombre? ¿Cómo estás, mujer? ¿Cómo estás, señorita? Muy bien, and you know, all that. People don't do that in the USA. Like, people don't fucking greet you, really, unless you're at fucking Walmart or something. Like, it's a very formal thing here in Mexico, and I like that. I actually like that a lot. It's very respectful, also. That, and yeah, it's very respectful, thinking about it, because you get ignored most of the fucking time in the United States, and I don't know, that's always bothered me. Like, people usually go out of their way to avoid socializing, and in Mexico, it's encouraged. Another thing, adding to that, there's no fucking drive-thrus here. There's one, and it's for fucking beer, man. It's for fucking beer. It's for, you know, getting a beer, and I forgot what it was called. But yeah, you can go to a drive-thru, get some beer and drink it, and you know, head out. And God, you get pulled over in a fucking instant. If that was the United States, that place would be shut down in a fucking heartbeat. But yeah, like so laid back here. That's another thing. So fucking laid back here. People are chill. No one cares if you have a beer in your car and you're drinking and driving and chilling. People don't call 911 for like the littlest thing, like back in the US. Like, as a matter of fact, there are some police that are corrupt, so it's another reason why people don't just call 911 for anything, let alone for something extreme. And some people don't even do that here if it's something extreme, like, you know, extreme violence or something. But yeah, it's just another thing with adding on to continuing this discussion is people use English words in stores, on store titles, to make it sound more fancy. Like, let me give an example. Like a normal title for a store would be let me think. It would be El Ropo con hombres, el ropo con hombres, or something like that. And they would put English words on it, and they would add something else to it that says the fancy man's clothes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do they use English words here? And my cousin told me it's because they make it sound more fancy, and it sounds more elegant. Or like, there's another place called Mr. Fish here in Aranda, Jalisco, Mexico. And they don't use the fucking Spanish word. They use the English word intentionally because it sounds fancier and more rich and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? Well, they don't do that in the USA. Not unless it's like something French or something. But they definitely don't use it in the Spanish language to make something sound fancy in the USA. But I don't know. Those are just examples of how different it is here. What else? The streets are not really that maintained that well. They're not. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. There's potholes everywhere. The streets are actually a lot smaller too, and the sidewalks are a lot smaller. That's the least of your concerns, though. Like, people run red lights all the time, and you don't get a ticket for it. Like back in the USA, if you ran a red light and someone saw you, you get so much fucking trouble. Well, not so much fucking trouble. You'd get a ticket at minimum. or and a court date. But here, like, no, they don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit about if you run a red light. So they're not as strict. And that's something I've noticed. Like, we have so many fucking laws and regulations and shit that we have to deal with back in the USA, and here it's just so fucking laid back and chill. And you know, it's just, I don't know, just Mexico just seems more el mejor, for lack of a better term. It really is. Mexico es el mejor. And I like it. I like it a lot. I'm really considering moving here because my family's here. It's cheaper. Fuck, that's actually the last reason I was going to list. It's cheap as fuck to live here. As long as you have some knowledge of Spanish and you can get by, because I'm about 45% fluent in Spanish. And I'm getting better. It's cheap as fuck to live here. You can get a full course meal for $5 American with the currency exchange. $5. How much is that in the USA? Like 20? Rent is what, about $300, $350 in the US? I mean, excuse me, here in Mexico, here in Jalisco, Mexico, or in Arandas to be specific. In fucking the USA, my apartment back there in Austin, Texas, fucking $1,400. And that's just part of it. Total is like $2,000, but I have roommates. Fuck all that. It's cheap as fuck to live here. Cheap as fuck. I don't know. Like, combining all those things, like, living, cost of living wise, Jesus, it's worth it. It's worth it. As long as you have some resemblance of Spanish and you want to get better and you want to improve and you're taking classes, oh man, you're golden. You're golden. I'm really considering moving here and just renting out an apartment. What, the total of my bills would every month would probably be like maybe $700. Internet's like $20 a month. Insurance is like $10 for a car insurance, $10-15. Cell phone is like $30. And you don't pay taxes, especially Americans that are here. You don't pay taxes. So, I mean, why not? The women are a lot hotter here too. But anyways, with all that combined, really makes me want to just, you know, drop everything in Texas and just move to Mexico after my apartment lease is up. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's really humbled me to open my eyes this second visit to Mexico. Like, how everything is laid back and a free-for-all, and hell, you can start a business here just opening a shop. You don't have to fucking ask for permits and shit. You don't have to fucking pay these taxes. You don't have to do all this waiting list shit like back in the USA. Here, people just fucking rent the place out and just start fucking selling shit. They don't have to fucking ask permission for it back in the USA. I've just noticed all the red tape you gotta fucking go through in the USA compared to Mexico. I was about to say America. Compared to Mexico. Damn, I fucking love it here, man. I'm not gonna say how much I make a month, but $700 in total max for bills is well putting me in the range of living a really, really good life here. Just saying. Meeting some really hot women and, you know, starting a brand new slate in life, for lack of a better term. But, yeah. Anyways, prolio adios. Hasta luego. Buenas noches. Muchos besos y abrazos. And I'll see you soon. Out.